I'll be talking today about the risk management topic, which generally is being used for ICAI students. So it is basically of an academic interest. The delivery of my topic will be exclusively based on the academic purposes only. So let me start with a little introduction about myself. I'm Sajeev Benson, residing in Trivandrum, capital of Kerala. Basically, I'm a mechanical engineer with 35 years of international experience in 4 fields. Those 4 fields are steel industry for about 11 years, and petrochemical industry for about 15 years, and oil and gas industry for 2 years, and aerospace industry for about 7 years. Some of the best systems in the world. Probably I got a chance to work with while doing in all these four domain. While working with people for about 37 nationalities and able to understand 6 languages quite comfortably, helped me to learn a lot about the systems and the minds of people all over the 35 years of span. So then I found that while working with distinctive different domains, I realized that the importance of risk of late, and to say better, you can say risk management. Then that has enabled me to become the project risk analyst in world's biggest petrochemical conglomerate, that is SABIC. So I was working there for about 80 projects, and so this stint in SABIC enabled me to understand certain facts. So generally, around 35% of the projects will end up in success. The rest are in some of the percentage in challenges. Some of them end up with losses or winding up. So this generally will be the same pattern you can see in the business domain also. In the business also it will be the same. Let it be a production or anything. It happens in the world. So this risk especially, nowadays it is very risky. The world is getting more and more complex. So the risk management is becoming more and more important and vital aspect of any business, as I understood. So today we'll be talking about some introductory words about risk. So you can say it's an introduction to risk. So what is risk? Risk is an uncertain event or a condition. An uncertain event or a condition. In a layman's word, you can say expecting the unexpected. So let us examine in a simple example. I will try to give you a fairly good idea about for a starter. So we know all that in India there is a lockdown situation in the corona pandemic, and there were certain restrictions imposed by each government or even the central governments, and there are police authorities roaming in the road. You are not supposed to wear a mask. You are not supposed to come out without a mask. Social distancing norms are very peculiar nowadays, and it is common. And so I'm staying in a small colony near to a road, by the side of a road in the city. And I have got a milk booth around 400 meters away from my house. And I have to go by walk, let us say, 400 meters, 200 meters to the road and 200 meters in the road to the shop. And in the morning, one of the day, if I do not wear a mask, or I take the risk of walking down without a mask, and while going in the road, I am intercepted by a police man or a police jeep or a police officer, and I will end up with a consequences. Consequence of not bringing the milk rightly on time from the milk booth, or you can say I'll be eventually failing to achieve my goal, right? So I may get arrested and end up with a result of getting a ticket also even. So this is just caused by myself taking a risk. It is quite understood now what is the event which has happened, what is the risk I have taken, what is the end result. So this is a typical example in the life of all the aspects of business, which we will come into in our topics slowly in the next our videos. So now what is generally happening is some of the companies or some of the companies which we are interested in, those who are interested in doing the risk evaluation, so they do a risk management basically. So what is the risk management then? The question comes. Risk management is all about identifying the risk, then making assessment of it, and then making some control, establishing some control mechanism into that one. So now we already said that it's an uncertain event. Risk is an uncertain event. If it does occur, it will have a positive or negative effect on at least one of the objectives, such as time, cost, scope, or quality of a business or a project. Risk is evaluated based on its magnitude, and then it has got varying magnitude bearing the business. So do we assess the magnitude? Yes, we have an assessment mechanism. That is what exactly we do in the analysis of project risk management or business risk management or any risk management. We make an assessment. So the magnitude of the risk, then it will be identified. It is a combination of the product of the probability of occurrence and the impact of the consequences. So it is a combination of the product of the probability of the occurrence and the impact of the consequences of a particular event. So we conduct an exercise to identify the risk, assign the probability of occurrence, assign the severity or impact of the outcome of the consequences. Let us review then the positive outcome of an identified risk with an example now, which is specifically mentioned in your curriculum topic. Let us say company X. Let us say a company X has been procuring raw materials in the past from someone Y, named a company named Y. So a company X is procuring raw material from company Y. Company Y was not environmentally law compliant. Means their production methodology or production technology was not environmentally law abiding situation. So you can say environmental law compliance was not there. So that was probably their technology in producing the raw material. And then a risk manager got into the business of evaluation of risk in the company X. And he identified that this procurement department has got a risk in raw material procurement. Then he evaluated, because he's an expert, where he identified that there is a possibility of a supply disruption that can cause an escalation of the price, or cost of supplies will definitely shoot up. So it is all caused by the non-compliance of the supplier environmentally, impacting him to stop the delivery one fine day. So what he did is, he has recommended this one to the management, and the corporate management has taken a decision to conduct a supplier survey, and they identified a supplier eventually who can supply, who is a compliant, environmentally compliant supplier, who could supply the material but at a high price. Now the management got an opportunity here. They have used their skills. they understood that in the previous case, the cost would have gone up in case of a supply disruption. So they used this situation. A threat has been converted into an opportunity. How? They have negotiated with the sky and they reduced the price even at the lower levels than the previous supplier's price. So eventually he got a business at a very, very good, positive outcome. Actually, it was an outcome of the exercise was positive in this case. So hence, upon identifying a risk here, an assessment which was carried out to replace a faulty raw material supplier, and it ended up in a positive exercise with a positive outcome while establishing a controlling mechanism here. By getting a reduced procurement cost in the totality. So this is a threat converted into an opportunity situation. So we find the risk and reward are two sides of the same coin. Risks are external and internal. Risks are external and internal. They are integrated and used it for the decision making in corporate strategy. It will be a choice of the management to evaluate risk or not. Once again, it is the choice of the management to evaluate risk or not. So with this one, I'll end up today's video, and I'll go in detail in my next academic talk about the definitions, varying definitions of risk in your curriculum. And thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for being with me. Appreciate that. Bye. Thank you.